How's it going, everybody? My name is James, and I'm bringing y'all another weekly Edgefinder report. If you're familiar with the channel, you know that every Friday I bring y'all an update on the Edgefinder to check out where everything has kind of ended up at the end of the week. The Edgefinder is our software that checks so many different things, guys. There's so many different metrics that we cover and update in real time, as well as cool stuff like economic news here. If you're watching this on Friday, July 8th, the NFP report came out this morning, and so that had a big effect on the market. So we'll kind of take a look at that and see where things ended up. But yeah, I'm just kind of clicking around for you guys right now. Feel free to pause the video at any time to take a look at some of this stuff. We're going to dive a little more in depth into some of this in just a second. If you like this style of content from us, please remember to subscribe, leave a like, and leave a comment down below letting us know that you're enjoying it. And yeah, let's go ahead and dive right into it. So let's take a look at the market heat map first. So the market heat map shows you the biggest movers of the day. This is not necessarily who we think is going to, or who the software thinks is going to be continuing to move up or down respectively. This is just who has moved the most today. So the blue meaning buy and the red meaning sell. So these are going up while these are going down respectively. And again, this is just for the day. Let's take a look at the Scorechart Summary really quick, because this is the chart that shows you who the software believes is going to continue to move up or down in the following hours, days, or weeks. So you can see all the different metrics that we check here. All these things right here are given a score, with the darker the blue or the darker the red meaning moving more strongly up or down. So we'll come back to this in a second, but the Scorechart Summary is what the software believes will continue to move in that direction, while the market heat map shows what has moved the most just today, without really taking into account all the different metrics. This is just where they've ended up. So let's go ahead and look at the top 6 movers of the day up here. So we have US oil, US 10Y, SPX 500, USD ZAR, US 30, and USD TRY. And the top 6 movers down here are the Euro USD, Pound USD, Gold USD, Aussie Dollar, NZD USD, and the UK 100. Now, going back to Scorechart Summary, our top buy of the day looks like it is the CAD yen pair with a score of 4. So we'll dive into this in just a second. And the top sell of the day, we have 2, Euro CAD and Pound Dollar, with both a score of 8. We'll look at one of those in a little bit, but let's start with CAD yen. So CAD JPY is here, and as we can see, we have a buy score of a +4 that you can see here, as well as right here with lots of other things that we're about to get into. So again, buy score of a 4, COT data or institutional data. If we scroll down just a little bit, we can see that here. So the yen at 29% long, 70% short, and the Canadian dollar at 55.5% long and 44.5% short. Okay. Retail sentiment +1, lots of +1s right here. Retail sentiment +1, you can see that here, 15% long and 85% short. Now, seasonality is always really interesting to look at, because we can see the all-time average, last 5-year average, and current year average for how this currency pair, whatever you're looking at, currency pair, commodity, indice, anything that we have here in the Edgefinder, you can see how it moves month to month. So we are in the month of July now, and if we take a look at that, the current year average is at a 1.01, last 5-year average the same, and all-time average 0.05. So current year average, we can see that it started off hot, had a bit of a dip, and over time, all-time average, we can see that it trends upwards towards the end of the year. So that's something to look out for. It seems pretty consistent with the all-time average, this little bit of a upward trend followed by a downward trend followed by an upward trend. So this seems pretty consistent with that. Trend reading. The trend reading just means whether or not the market is moving up or down respectively. So with a +1, that means the market is moving slightly up respectively. GDP growth right here, +1. Inflation, -1. Unemployment, -1. And interest rate divergence, +1. We can take a look at all of that right here. So the Canadian dollar GDP growth is at a 0.8%, while inflation is at 7.7%, and the yen is at a -0.1 GDP growth and inflation 2.5%. Now, Canadian dollar, 4.9% unemployment and 1.5% interest rate divergence. The yen, 2.6% unemployment and -0.1% interest rate divergence. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you guys really quickly before we move on to our top sell is the daily price chart. And the daily price chart shows you the today's average, or today's number, along with the 14-day average, 7-day average, and the 4-day average. So if we look here at July 8th, I'll zoom in on that for you guys so you can take a closer look at that. And this shows you the past month. So we can see that it starts here on June 9th and is all the way up to June 8th. So it shows you the price of the pair for the last month and where it's moved. Okay. So that is our top buy today in the Edge Finder. Remember, if you want the Edge Finder, you can click the link in the description below to get access to that. And if you use the code A1YT at checkout, you will get a massive discount on the Edge Finder. All right, let's go back into the Scorechart Summary. Go back down to our strongest sells. We have a lot of strong sells, but only 2 with a +8 rating, the Euro CAD and the pound dollar. And let's look at pound dollar just because it's already on the bottom. Right now, we're doing a major discount on our private trading Discord. Inside of the group, our analysts share their trade signals with a full breakdown of entries, exits, and the reasoning behind their trade. Additionally, you'll be able to chat with other A1Trading members, and you'll be supporting our content. In order to take advantage of the significant discount, use code A1YT when checking out with the link in the description below. We look forward to seeing you inside of the group. So pound dollar, click on that, and that is our strongest sell. Not just sell, but strongest sell. If you look, it has a score of a -8. You can see that there and there, which is, I mean, look at that. It's not even touching the red. That's how low it is. -8. Again, this is the software's prediction. The software collects all this data in real time and adjusts it for you guys so that you can stay up to date with everything going on in the market. But yeah, okay, so let's see. Score of -8. COT data, is right down here. US dollar at, let's call it 83% long and 17% short. And the pound at 28.5, we can call that, and 71.5% short. There. Okay. Retail sentiment at a -1, 75% long, 25% short there. And seasonality right here. You can see our chart. And all-time average, last 5-year average, current year average is the same. Here we are. July, current year average, -0.03. Last 5-year average is just 0. And the all-time average is -0.01. So I'll let y'all take a look at this chart for just a second. Kind of see how everything has been moving in the last couple months, as well as the all-time average and last 5-year average for how these have moved. It doesn't seem like it moves that much from July to August to September, but later on in the year it moves just a little bit, which is consistent with this line that we see right here. Now, trend reading, -2, again, just means which way the market is moving respectively. So this is moving downwards a little quicker than our buy pair was moving upwards. GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, interest rate divergence. We can see the scores right here, 1 and -1, -1, -1. So currency, pound, GDP growth 0.8%, inflation 9.1%. The dollar, -1.6%, GDP growth, and inflation is at 8.6%. And you can also see right here, guys, I didn't mention this earlier, but this right here shows you how much that number has moved since it was last updated. Okay. Pound unemployment 3.8% and interest rate 1.25%. The US dollar unemployment 3.6% and interest rate 1.75%. And lastly, daily price chart. Hasn't moved around too terribly much. There is the numbers for July 8th. Again, this is being recorded and uploaded on July 8th, the day of the NFP reports coming out. And yeah, again, from June 9th up to July 8th, so the full month, we can see all these numbers here. All right, and before I leave y'all, I'm gonna let you again look around the software one more time. Again, this is on July 8th, so if you're watching this on July 8th, all of this information should be pretty relevant still. Again, the markets can swing in a matter of minutes, so things are always subject to change, but should look fairly similar. Market heat map once again. And again, feel free to pause the video at any time if you want to look at any of this stuff more closely. And I mean, like, look at all of this news. All of this news that was released July 8th, and it shows you the impact on the market. It's really, really interesting stuff. We have our articles here written by some of our in-house traders and analysts, giving you up-to-date information. I mean, we had both of these articles just posted yesterday. We'll have more posted today by the time this video is out. Like, it's just constantly getting updated all the time, so that you are totally up to date on all the information you need to navigate the markets. Smart money tracker. I'll let you look at this for just a second. And lastly, the Scorechart Summary one more time. And if you ever want to, say you want to look at something more in depth, you can always change it. So let's say we only want to look at the currency pairs. We can click these on and off and just look at the currency pairs. Clear that up just a little bit for you. We can add these back in. And same in the market heat map. We can do the same thing in the market heat map. We can get rid of, let's look at just indices and commodities this time. Those are all of the indices and commodities that we have right there. All right, so that's going to do it for this Edge Finder video. Remember, if you want a copy of the Edge Finder yourself, you can find that in the link in the description. Use code A1YT for a massive discount on that. Hope you all have had a good week, and we'll see you next Friday for another A1 Edge Finder report.